All right, y'all. How y'all doing? It's Mr. Pin Drop with the Pin Drop Show. Today I have a special guest today. I have my guy.
Dude, good to meet you. My name's Austin Hess, do Panama Real Estate and Relocation. Super stoked to be here. Thanks for reaching out.
No problem, no problem.
Thanks for coming to this awesome country. You know, I found this country 14 years ago, and I love when people like you guys are coming in, discovering Panama, and just looking for the information to not only have a good time yourself, but to help your viewers out there discover Panama and come have a good time for themselves as well.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
So basically, I came to this country to find gold in the river. So I was on the coattails of a friend's adventure. It seemed like a fun little thing to do. It was a 3-month deal. We're gonna go pan for gold in the river. Like, it's always been a dream, right? Find some gold in life. And I got down here and I was blown away. You know, my own ignorance about Panama, not knowing that it had this incredible city. You know, this city reminds me of Chicago.
Right.
You know, like it's a massive city. It's just without the cold. But yeah, so I came down here to find gold in the river, and you know, I learned real quickly that you couldn't keep the gold. So being that I fell in love with the country as well, at the same time, I decided, hey, you know, I need to find a way to stay here. I want to be a full-time tourist.
Right.
So I got into publications, and I started producing a newspaper on tourism here in Panama, a magazine, and I've done that for about 10 years. And then, you know, my addiction for helping people, you know, I got to go to all these places, and I was meeting people that were kind of like, it was like they had a great experience, but that one thing happened. And I was like, man, that didn't need to happen. Someone needs to step up and help expats from outside of the Panamanian culture move in, work with the best realtors, work with the best attorneys, the best pet relocation people, the best schools, the best doctors, and just give people a full-on service to allow for them to come in and not only invest successfully, but to have a good time doing it. I mean, most people are coming here to relocate, to have a better life, or retire, to have a better life. So obviously you want to make sure, this is a big decision, you know, like to have a good time doing it and to really enjoy what you're doing.
Right.
I mean, for me, it's just important. And again, it scratches the itch for me, my addiction for helping people. I love it. It's a high for me to see people come down here and find their dream house, and not only, you know, that they're happy with it today and they're excited with it today, but 2-3 years down the line, I'll see them at a restaurant and they're telling me about what they did to the house, or, you know, it's awesome to see that people are really able to not only see one property with one company, because we're a real estate network, you know, we work with a lot of brokers throughout the real estate industry here. So we're able to not only show this property, which you might really like, but you might be in love with this property that Jose has. And so we work with all the brokers. We allow them to list their properties on our website. So they're able to have properties from 7 to 10, 15 different companies in the interior. And then here in the city, we have tons of brokers that we work with.
Right. So it's no secret, y'all. In America, we're getting tired of the hustle and bustle, right? So I've been seeing an increased amount of people interested in becoming expats.
Of course.
So this is why I created this series, this episode of Rewriting Homes, okay?
Okay,
and
love it.
How I came about you was I was on the plane one day and I had a gentleman say, have you ever been to Panama before? And I said, yeah, a couple times. And he said, I got this guy that you have to talk to. He is great. So I said, interesting. So I reached out to you at that time. I know you got a lot of clients, so you probably don't remember, but I reached out to you, and the first impression off the rip, you were giving me information. You was very detailed, and that's what stood out to me. So I just so happened to create this podcast, and I said, what better person to have featured, and it ended up being.
Well, I appreciate you.
So,
I appreciate whoever was on the airplane, man.
So I appreciate you again.
And that you guys are coming down here and showing off this country. Like, again, I have a major love. I was not born in Panama. They call me the Pana Gringo or Chuleta, you know, like I'm a part of Panama now, you know, and I love that. I want to be a part of this country. I want to see this country grow in a positive direction, you know.
Absolutely.
And again, if I can help influence whoever you met on the airplane, in some way, shape, or form, I have influenced them. I love that. I love that people are talking very well about me, and that they say, hey, you got to meet this guy. And yeah, thank you for reaching out, and thanks for having me on your podcast. This is freaking awesome.
Problem,
you know, obviously I'm usually the one on my channel doing the interview, so it's like it's a little bit of a different twist for me, and And I'm glad that you reached out, and I'm glad that you guys, it sounded like you and your team had an awesome time last night in Casco Viejo.
We did. So let me ask you this: what is the process if I'm an American and I'm like, hey, I really want to take that jump? What is the process for an American coming to Panama? To get going and become a resident here?
So it's very easy. There's really 3 main residencies to focus on. One of them is for retirees. And of course, if you're a retiree, it has to do with pensions. So if you have a pension that you actually have a letter from that pension that says this person gets X amount of dollars every month for the rest of their life, and that amount is over $1,000 for a single individual. Or an additional $250 a month for each dependent. So usually they have a husband or a wife, and so if it's $1,250 a month, then you can apply for residency without purchasing any property, without doing anything else. You just have to present that letter, your FBI background check, and bada bing, bada boom. Our attorneys will have a temporary, permanent, lifetime visa in your hand, probably 3 to 5 days.
So 3 to 5 days for the visa process. Okay.
Yes.
What about if
to start it, to have that temporary ID, and then usually it's about 3 to 4 months to run the whole process. They'll call you and let you know when your permanent IDs are in. Okay.
We have also people that have VA benefits. So how does that work? Is it the same process with the VA?
That's very interesting, and I'm glad you brought that up. Obviously getting that information through the attorney, but yes, anything that has a letter that states how much that you receive a month. And then on the VA part, it's really cool is that there's even a hospital here that has a VA program. I have a good friend that runs that program for the Johns Hopkins affiliate hospital here in Panama. We have 2 Johns Hopkins affiliate hospitals in this country, and they work with VAs in the VA program. So, there's a lot of benefits for anyone and by the way, thank you for your service, that have worked in the military of any form in the United States.
Okay. All right. So safety-wise, I know a lot of people are leaving because of safety as well. What is the safety factor here? Is it high crime, petty theft?
I like to say it like this. In Panama, we don't have bombings, we don't have shootings, we don't have classism, we don't have racism. If someone's mad, it's usually the country of Panama mad about the government. There's no sides, there's no left and right that are fighting, and there's negative energy. I have a lot of expats from all over, from Oregon, from New York, from Georgia, Texas, Florida. There's so many people coming from all different walks of life, many different cultures that come down here and are like, I always hear the same thing. Man, I just feel like I can let my hair down. I just feel so relaxed. There's no hate and drama.
That's what it's about.
And then to go on your point of safety, I've never felt more safe in my entire life. I've been here almost 14 years. Yeah, of course, don't be stupid. Don't be running around with $10,000 cash and hey, be educated with your actions. But yes, definitely one of the safest places I've ever lived.
Okay. School systems, how are the school systems?
There's obviously the Panamanian public school system, great. Especially if you have young kids that you can get them into the school system so they can learn Spanish. Obviously you're a sponge when you're the younger you are. But then of course a lot of expats are choosing private schools. There's a lot of international schools here. There's incredible schools all over the city. In the beach towns, in the mountain towns, there's different areas of the country that, there's something for everyone here. Not everyone wants to live in Panama City.
Right.
There's mountain towns, there's beach towns, there's islands, archipelagos that you can live in or at, and there's schools and educational programs in all of these places.
Okay. As far as I know you mentioned mountain areas and stuff like that. What areas are you noticing that the expats are moving to? The city, the mountains?
A lot in the city.
The city? Okay.
Oh man, yeah. Because you have a lot of versatility. We see a lot of clients that are coming down, let's say from the US or Canada. They're on the plan B. They're not quite ready to move, but they're thinking, hey, I want to have that permanent residency in place. So if the stuff does hit the fan, I'm ready. I just jump on a plane. I don't have to wait for this report or this or that, this letter to then start my residency program. I want to just get it taken care of. So they'll come down and they'll buy a unit in usually a legal Airbnb building, because now they have the ability to rent it out short term. They can visit throughout the year, and kind of take us back on that. You were asking about the residency visas. when you're doing a purchase like that, there's the Friendly Nation visa and the Qualified Investor visa. These are also two very important visas. Both of them, you're required to purchase some form of real estate, or there's other ways to qualify for it, but the 99.9% of people purchase real estate because you got to live somewhere.
I know certain countries, there's a dollar amount. Is it a dollar amount?
Dollar amount. So Friendly Nations visa is a $200,000 investment or more.
Okay.
To apply for the Friendly Nations visa. There's 50 Friendly Nation countries. US and Canada are one of those countries.
Okay.
And then Qualified Investor visa is a $300,000 investment or more, and it can be any human being from any country in the world.
Okay.
So we call that the red carpet visa. Now, there's another big difference between the two visas besides the $200,000 threshold and the $300,000 threshold. Also with the Friendly Nations, there's a 2-year temporary that converts to a lifetime. And there's a reason for that, but it has nothing to do with people that are buying real estate. And I can explain that to any of your friends out there that want to connect and understand more about why that is. But with the Qualified Investor, you get it and that's it. So again, with the Friendly Nations, there's kind of a 2-step process. You're getting the immigration temporary 2-year that converts to a lifetime. So you do have to go through that process again 2.5 years later, where the Qualified Investor, come in, you do it, you're done, you're a lifetime resident.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just easier.
So transportation. Well, how is the transportation here compared to the U.S.?
Well, you can buy any car here, depending on your style. You want a Honda, you want a Hyundai, you want
Audi.
a BMW, you want an Audi, you want a Ferrari, you want a Bentley, We have all the dealerships here.
Public transportation?
Public transportation is awesome. I mean, we're down here in Casco right now. To be honest with you, I hate trying to find parking here.
Yes.
It's just so much easier. If I'm coming down to Casco, I just Uber. It costs me $3.17. Like, are you kidding
Say that
me?
price again, please.
$3.17. That's not to get in the Uber. That's the cost. That's probably like a $25, $30 Uber ride back in the States.
Right.
So it's very inexpensive, whether you want to go in a taxi, an Uber, you want to rent a car. It's very simple. I like driving, so I like to go around the country. If I were just living in the city, again, you don't have to have a car.
Right.
There's a lot of people that move here that do not get a car because, hey, the Uber's so cheap. Like if you don't like driving or you think that it's a little crazy on our streets, I mean, it is. It's something that's a part of Panama. It works though, and again, if you can handle the driving, then I say get a car.
Okay, interesting to know. Here's another thing that I want to ask you about. Neighborhoods.
Okay.
What are the neighborhoods? What are the most popular neighborhoods that you're noticing that the expats are moving to?
So, again, based on the whole legal Airbnb thing, which again, let's talk about that a little bit. So in Panama City, there is a law. It's a 45-day minimum rental law. And the idea for that law and why they put that in place is they wanted to build a convention center. So when you build a convention center, you have to think, okay, where are the people going to stay? They needed 35,000 hotel rooms. So they incentivized these hotels, W Hotel, Waldorf Astoria, Hilton, JW Marriott, with this protection of, hey, we're going to implement a 45-day minimum rental law to protect you and your business to then, of course, get those tourism clients. And so there is this law in place. And now, of course, there's a lot of people that use their apartment that probably shouldn't be. It's not a legal Airbnb. But now you have buildings that are registering. They're going to the tourism authority and registering their building, their project, as a condo hotel.
Okay.
So this gives them the legal ability to allow their investors, the people that are buying these units, to then either rent out those units on Airbnb by themselves. Some projects let you manage it or hire your own project manager. Some of those projects are actually making you do in-house property management, which again, I like because then it keeps everything consistent. Like if your property manager is not as good as his property manager and he doesn't care about the stains on the towels, that could devalue the name of the building. So again, there's some pros in that. Some people like to do things themselves. I get it, I'm one of those guys. But again, when you look at the big picture, it's like, wow, it makes sense to really hold it all together. And so on that note, I think one of the areas that we're seeing a lot is Costa del Este. So this is like the Miami of Panama City.
Okay, is that central, north, south?
This is in between the main city center and the airport. So it's about 8-10 minutes out of city center and about 15 minutes in the other direction to the international airport.
Okay.
Great area. This is a pre-planned area. All the power lines underground. The sidewalks are like they are in the U.S. The streets, and the kicker is it's where all the multinational companies are.
Wow.
So if you are thinking on a business standpoint, an ROI standpoint, obviously you want to be where the renters are. And with tourism, you have up and down. There's seasons with tourism, and we have a high season. We have a lower season. So again, a lot of people are liking that offering because now you have all these multinationals that work 365 a year. You have one of the Johns Hopkins affiliate hospitals with a lot of specialty doctors' offices for people coming in for medical tourism. So again, we see, a lot of our clients that are looking at those options.
Okay.
But there are other areas though too.
What advice would you give one that wants to rent versus buying?
Again, it depends on each person. We have a lot of people that come to our company and they ask us, I talk to a lot of our brokers, we're always in communication, and we hear this, the back and forth, rent or buy. And it's every situation is unique.
Okay.
If you're in a position to rent, then rent. If that's what you feel comfortable with, definitely rent. If you want to wait 2 years and rent first and make sure you love it, do that. Now, you might miss the boat. Like, I beat myself up all the time when I was laughing at my friends telling me to buy Bitcoin 8-10 years ago. And I'm like, you idiot, you're buying Bitcoin. Now who's the idiot, right? And I kind of see the same thing with the real estate market here. It's like, hey, you have a lot of people, not only leaving the US and Canada, we have clients from Trinidad and Tobago, we have French clients, German clients, UK, Australia. I mean, everyone from around the world is coming to Panama and they're buying. So it's not rocket science. The more people they're buying, the less opportunities there are on the market, appreciation values go up. So again, with that being said, I would say, hey, if you are serious about this move, buying real estate right now could really give you a lot of value 3, 5, 10 years later with that appreciation.
Okay.
I mean, I know of a lot of people that have done very well in real estate here in Panama that it's incredible to see, So again, being that it's firsthand, that I get to have conversations like this with hundreds of people, prior to anyone working with one of our in-house agents or with one of our affiliate agents, they really talk to me, I like to get to know our clients. I'm really hands-on. Even when they're working with one of our agents, I'm always in a group on WhatsApp with them, always helping with the communication, make sure everyone's doing their job correctly. We're getting everything squared away with the attorneys. Maybe you find a resale unit that you absolutely love, but your wife hates the kitchen. We have American standard builders and remodelers that we work with that we recommend. We have connections with the best pet relocation companies. Obviously your fur babies out there, you want to bring down your dogs or your cats or any other animals, obviously you want to do it safely and as caring as possible. So again, we have the full spectrum, where we are able to assist people.
Okay, a non-resident, how is it for a non-resident? Are they allowed to own property here?
Absolutely. You can you can come in here and open a bank account right away. You can own property. Obviously, if you're buying property though, it only makes sense to get the residency with that because one of the stipulations is buying property. So a lot of people are obviously going and taking advantage of having the residency. I mean, it's definitely a pro to get that lifelong permanent visa residency, especially when you're buying the real estate.
Okay. What about as far as entrepreneurship? If I want to open up a tourism business, like I am thinking about opening up a tourism business here in Panama.
I would.
How is that? What is the process like with that?
I always tell people, Panama is an open canvas. Bring your paintbrushes and your paints and let's get to work. Like whatever your wildest dreams. I mean, you can see something back home that that works from this to, there's so many things. I mean, people come to me and say, hey, I have this idea. I'm like, do it. I would do it in this location based on what it is. Again, I have a lot of education having owned the publications, and literally I had a newspaper before the pandemic for 8-9 years that I would go to every place that anyone that's looking at Panama might want to live every single month. Right. So every single month I was in Bocas del Toro. Every single month I was in Pedasí. Every single month I was in Vinao, in Boquete, in El Valle, in the beach town. So I got to go to all these places and experience and really understand. So again, I'm able to then help people. You know, a lot of people come to me, I want to live under this palm tree. And I'm like, okay, let me get to know you and understand what you're looking to do. And again, based on the information I get, I make recommendations. And then of course we connect our clients with the right agents and start looking at properties. Again, whether they're looking to rent or buy, you know, it will be a different agent.
Right. Well, you've been a wealth of knowledge, and we definitely appreciate you stopping by today. I know you're a busy man. I know you got some more.
Well, I appreciate you calling.
How can they get in contact with you?
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, go to our website, dopanama.com, because on our website, not only will you see our real estate network, which has got listings from our over 140 agents across the country, but we also have a relocation survey. It's a free survey. It takes 3 to 5 minutes. It's multiple choice, very easy to do. And it gives us a lot of information about you to then, my team will give you some general information, and then they'll set up a complimentary 30-minute Zoom call with myself. Okay. Plus, on that survey, it's gonna have your name at the end, and they can say, I heard about this because of you. Right. And you know, like I told you before we got on camera here, I love working with others. I love, again, getting the message out about Panama. Right. And I want to do it in a fair and just make sure everyone's taken care of. So make sure to select that on the survey. It's the last question. And then of course, you know, anyone that has WhatsApp Messenger, just reach out directly to me, +507 6767 9710, or my email, Austin@dopanama. That's D-O Panama. Just like Nike, you know, just do it. Stop thinking about it, just do it. You just gotta do it, you know, like, and yeah, dopanama.com. That's what we do.
We appreciate your time.
Awesome, brother. I appreciate you. And yeah, definitely have a good time in Panama.
Appreciate it. Thank you.